Welcome to the class, children. Very good morning to you. And now we are going to discuss about your English syllabus. And once again, for to good morning, one and all. Now we are going in the earlier class. We are discussed about the bridge. In that bridge course, we are discussed about nouns. In that nouns, we are discussed about the proper noun and common noun, and also learned in that proper nouns are always having the names of a particular person, place, thing, or animals or birds, and also in that we are going to known as common nouns. Common nouns means having the nouns or words that stand for any person, places, animal, bird or thing, and we can recall all the things what we have learned in the earlier class. And also we have learned about the singular and plurals. What do you mean by singular? Singular means one and plural means two or more things. Likewise, we have recalled that, and also we learned about the examples of singular and plurals. And in the meantime, we have learned about the countable nouns and also uncountable nouns. Now we are passing on to the genders, and we discussed about in the genders also three types: masculine, feminine, and neuter genders. Have you recorded once again? Okay. Now pass on to today's class. Okay. In that genders, masculine gender means it tells something about to the humans, that means the mans, and in the feminine gender means it tells something about to the females. And masculine means it tells something about to the males, and feminine means it tells about to the females. For example, in the masculine gender, uncle, father, son, grandfather, and grandson, likewise it goes on. In the feminine form, it is going to tell about to the mother, grandmother, and likewise it goes on. Neuter gender means it is the thing, what we call it as the non-living things are called the neuter genders. So we can knowing about all the things very well and recall it once again. Okay, I think now you are understand about to the earlier one. Now we pass on to in the nouns, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Here, countable noun. What do you mean by countable noun? Countable noun means countable nouns are nouns which we can count. Okay, you are knowing about that. Countable nouns means we can count easily. For example, money. And also we are going to count something about the vegetables and also fruits. Countable nouns are countable nouns are those nouns. Countable nouns are those nouns which we can count. Example: money, vegetables and marbles, so on. Okay, that means once we can countable nouns means we can count easily. That thing is called countable nouns. And here the example should be money, vegetables, marbles, and so on. And also apples, this one. And now we can pass on to the another one, uncountable nouns. Uncountable noun means those nouns now pass on to uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are those nouns which we cannot count easily. Okay. Now, for example, and all learned about that. Countable nouns means we are going to count them easily, and here in the uncountable nouns we cannot count easily. For example, water, rice, sand, sugar. Likewise, it is going on. Uncountable noun means rice, water, sand, sugar. If you are going to, for example, if you are going to taking into consideration of your water, we can collect that water into a glass. Shall we count? No, we can measure it. Rice. In that rice, we are making into. We cannot count singly rice, and also sand. If we are going to collect the sand, we cannot possible to count the granules of sand. Sugar is also, we cannot count that into particles. Likewise, the uncountable noun means it is which we cannot count easily. That is called uncountable nouns. Okay. Now you are understanding about these examples or the differences between the countable nouns and also uncountable nouns. Okay, now pass on to the uncountable nouns. In countable nouns have countable nouns. In countable nouns have singular and plural forms. Okay, here you can observe about this. In countable nouns, we are having singular and plural forms. We are having both the singular and plural forms in countable nouns. For example, apple. Apple means singular. Now it becomes apples. A-P-P-L-E-S. Here apple, and here it is going to add yes to form plural form. In the earlier one we learned about that singular and plural. Singular means one and plural means more than one. That is called, it is going to be added yes and form the plural form. And book, books. Now also it is going to be added yes and form plural forms. Now pass on to another point. We use a or an or number of words before number of words before countable nouns. Before countable nouns. Before countable nouns. Here the second point will be if we use a or an or number of words before countable nouns. For example, an apple. Example, an apple, comma, a ball, comma, two cats. Here, an apple, a ball, comma, two cats. These are the words we are going to be used like a or an or number of words before the countable nouns. Okay, now we pass on to another point. That means second point is finished. Third point. Uncountable nouns have here uncountable nouns have uncountable nouns have only singular forms. Have only singular forms. Singular forms and cannot be turned into plurals and cannot be turned into plurals. Example, rice, honey. Okay, here uncountable nouns have only singular forms and cannot be turned into plurals. Here always uncountables cannot be turned into singular form. It is always in plural forms only. For example, rice, it cannot be taken as single rice, and honey, we won't take into consideration of single drop of honey. Okay, now pass on to another topic, punctuation. Punctuations means what? We are all knowing about that. Punctuations means it should be used. Punctuation means it is going to be used when we are going to follow some rules. In that time, punctuation should be useful because that rules will be followed when we are going to read about something. Punctuations. Here punctuations are usually when we are going to read something with the matter or the sentences. In that time we are making use of some symbols, and that is called punctuations. You are familiar about the reading and the writing. In that time we are making use of some symbols intervening between the sentences for the sake of the conveniences. The grammarians are made these punctuations. In these punctuations, first we are going to start as full stop. What is is the use of this full stop? Okay, can anybody tell what is the use of full stop? You and all knowing about when we are going to read the lessons. In that lessons, the textbook is containing some dots, and that should be written as thickened dot. That dot shows that we can stop our reading and taking little bit of what breathing after the reading should be started. For stopping of that position is called full stop. We are going to stopping of our reading, that is called full stop. Okay. Many sentences definition. Many sentences end with a full stop. End with a full stop. Example: Abhay plays P-L-A-Y-S, plays the piano. Here we are putting the full stop. Okay, what is the use of this full stop? Many sentences end with a full stop. That means here we are going to stop for reading or stop for learning or reading, and we can put taking some breath for ourselves is called as full stop. Now pass on to next one, comma, C-O-M-M-A. What is the use of that comma? Is anybody tell about that? What is the use of that comma? Anybody knows? Okay. Now coming on to the position, what is the use of the comma? First you can understand that full stop. Now we are going to pass on to another word that is called comma. Here C-O-M-M-A, comma. That means dot and little bit protrudence will be coming downside. That is called comma. Full stop means full dot and it should be coming like this. Here comma means when we are going to read or write something, we put some signs that is called comma. It is for the sake of we are going to little bit pausing our noises or words. After that, taking some sudden breath and moving forward, that is called comma. Comma means we are going to put little bit pause or stop in that sentence. Afterwards, we are moving into another one. Here, definition: a list of things, places, comma, persons, animals, animals, birds, books, etc. Can be separated with the separated with the help of a comma. Here, see the definition. A list of things, places, persons, animals, birds, books, etc. means so many can be separated. It should be distinguished with the help of a comma. For example, Rahul, Rishi, Sujal, Sujal are good friends. You can see how we are going to be used the commas. That means we are placing some dot, after that some protruding is going below. That is called the comma. Now we pass on to, I think now we are understood about what is the importance of the comma and what is the importance of the full stop. Should you remember that, or you go on through that thing? Okay, I am going to give 1 or 2 minutes for taking that into consideration to go through that word. First, take down and then read that one, and if you are understand it easily. Now we pass on to the question mark, or first we are going to capital letters. Question mark. Why we are going to making use of the question mark? When somebody is going to ask some questions, that is called interrogative mark or question mark. And after we are going to make some sentences, we are putting some questions in that sentence. After that sentence, we are going to put some question mark. Here, question mark. What is the symbol of question mark? You are all aware of that question mark. You are already knowing about that. This is the question mark we are put, and we are mentioned about the differentiation of the other thing. Question mark. Here, the definition should be sentences which ask a question, end with a question mark. Put a full stop. Okay, here definition for the question mark means sentences which ask a question and also end with a question mark. For example, where does For this, somebody is going to ask, where does Rahul live? And the answer should be, Rahul lives in Mumbai or Bangalore or Karnataka. Likewise, it is going on. For example, question mark means which asks a question. It always ends with a question. Example, where does Rahul live? Rahul lives in Bangalore or Mysore or somewhere in the other parts. So the Rahul will be living. Okay, now passing on to the capital letters. Now pass on to the capital letters. Example. First take down capital letters. Okay, what do you mean by a capital letters? If you are already using about these capital letters somewhere around in your lives also, what is the use of that capital letters? Capital letters ಇಂದ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಹೆಸರು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಊರಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಹೆಸರು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ ನೌನ್ಸ್ which are going to be started with the capital letters. For example, the person's name, place name or the thing's name, what we are going to be, that should be also in proper noun forms. We are going to use the capital letters. Okay, the definition will be, every sentence begins with a capital letter. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಇಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಶಬ್ದ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಶುರು ಮಾಡುವ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ನಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಬರಿಬಾರದು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, my name, M is capital. My name is Ravi. R is also capital because it is a noun, the name of a person, so it should be in capital letter. And also, for example, the word I is always, the word I is always written in capital form, written in capital form, always written in capital form. For example, he and I. See here, I should be coming between middle, but we won't write in small letter. We are always written in capital letters. He and I are brothers. Okay, now you are understanding about these capital letters, and still some more capital letters should be left behind. We are going to discuss in the next class. Okay, once again we are going to thank one and all, and thank you once again students. We are going to meet in the next class. In that time, have to remember or memorize these things once again and come to the class again. Okay, once again we wish you good luck and thank you one and all students. Stop.